Well, I'd like to start off with saying what an honor it is to be inducted into the Southern Tennis Hall of Fame. I think for about 20 years now, I've seen people inducted, people I respect, who have done so much for tennis, and it really is remarkable that I'm going to be able to join those other inductees and wear that maroon coat, and I'm really proud to have been selected. I thought maybe what I would do is just kind of start by how I started in tennis. I think it's pretty unique. So I come from a tennis family. My father is a long-time tennis volunteer. In fact, he not only volunteered at the national level, but he was the vice president of the Southern Tennis Association. I was at a awards banquet, luncheon just today. The name of the Southern Family of the Year is the Mickey McNulty Family of the Year. That's my father. So it was quite an honor to be part of that family. And we grew up with tennis. He was a remarkable, remarkable volunteer, was respected by so many people. So I was living in Lake Charles, Louisiana. My father was the president of the Louisiana Tennis Association. And this is many, many years ago. My sons will be here. One's 45, the other is 41, the other is 40. This is so long ago that when he called, he said, "Uke," and that was my nickname because I received the Geometry Award. The founder of geometry was Euclid. We were shocked that I won in the 8th grade the Geometry Award, so from that point on, he called me Uke until his passing. And so he said, "Uke, I would like to select you, appoint you, to serve on the Louisiana Tennis Association Board of Directors." And he said, "You know so many people in tennis. You know everybody in Louisiana in tennis. You love the game, and I really think you would be a great contributor, a leader." And he said this, I remember it, he says, "I think you could make a difference on the board." And I answered no. And I don't think I'd ever told my father no in my life, ever. But it was a really, really busy time. I'm a retired lawyer now, but I was a very active lawyer. I was a litigator, tried a lot of cases. It was really a busy time. It was a busy time as a husband. It was also a busy time as a father. I coached all of my children, all 3 sons, every sport. Soccer, basketball, baseball. And so it was really difficult. I just didn't have the time. So he said, "I understand, Mike, but I will tell you this is really, really important." And I remember these words. He said, "Uke," and I'm going to read it, "I understand, but I promise you that you will meet and work with the most incredible volunteers, people who give of their time, that are passionate about the sport of tennis, just like you. And people who are passionate or volunteers are good people." And he said, "And you will make friends for a lifetime." Well, you know, he changed my mind. And I said, "Okay, I will." And so I frequently wonder what my life would be like had I continued to say no. And the words he said, there are no truer words. So I have been fortunate to be a long-time volunteer at the grassroots level. I've served on the board of the Lake Area Community Tennis Association, which I founded, the board of the Louisiana Tennis Association, the board of the Southern Tennis Association, and the board of the United States Tennis Association. And it has been an incredible experience. An experience where you work as a team, where you address challenges to tennis, and you're responsible for developing strategies and policies to be able to grow tennis. I have been so fortunate in serving with incredible boards of directors, and that is on the board that I now serve with, but also importantly, the Southern Tennis Association. Let me take an opportunity this time to be able to say how wonderful it was to be able to serve with John Callan. So when people watch this, I don't know, 5 years from now or 10 years from now, whatever, you should know that John Callan just passed away, and John was the executive director of the Southern Tennis Association for 33 years. 3 months ago, I talked with John Callan. We were in Bentonville, Arkansas, had breakfast with him for 2 hours and spoke about just stories and experiences. And I mentioned to him, and I said, you know, John, it must be really incredible to have 17 different wives. And he said, what do you mean by that, Mike? And I said, well, look, you're married to Frances, you know, and we're close to John. Our family is close to John. But every 2 years, you have another president. It's kind of like having another wife, you know. And John Callan led this organization. He was a face of Southern for 33 years and respected by everyone. But as only John Callan could, he said, you know, I had an incredible experience with every president. John is soft-spoken and is loved by all. But he said, and John's timing is just so good. So he knew I was going to ask, but what? He said, well, you know, I had kind of a rough spell there in my wives. There were a couple of them. One was Rex Maynard, who will be introducing me tonight, and the other was you. It was just a speed bump. So that's John, that's him joking, but it's incredible as a Southern volunteer to be able to work with John Callan. It's a special relationship, as well as a special relationship of being part of a team of the Southern Tennis Association. So that is really my experience in tennis. I was at the awards banquet today, and we had such an incredible array of awards winners. I think everyone there shed a tear a couple of times with regard to how tennis has impacted those people. Someone in a wheelchair who had no life and has now picked up a racket, and as she said, I've redefined my life through tennis as to what I could do. And it's a wonderful sport, and I'm glad that I'm a part of being able to enrich the lives of others, because my life has been so enriched by tennis. As a player, my life now is playing in the morning, being part of an 18-person email, show up at 9 and be able to play and have friends and develop camaraderie and hit tennis balls. It's a sport of a lifetime. I'm 70 years old. I've been playing since I was a kid, and I enjoy it as much now as I've ever enjoyed it. So, but I have received so much more in the way of it enriching my life by being able to work with all of these other tennis volunteers. And what my father said is absolutely true. What he didn't tell me, besides friends of a lifetime, and I think in some small way being able to make a difference in tennis, he didn't tell me how much fun it would be to be able to work with everyone, to be able to work with Rex Maynard, who will be introducing me, and all the other people. So I would like to say, again, what a pleasure it is to have to receive this award. It's an honor, but this has been an incredible experience, and I don't know what my life would be like if I wasn't a tennis volunteer for the last 33 years.